All right, what is up? We are live. We're back. Kangz Council episode 29, the podcast that will live long enough to become the villain. All right,
if it's not already.
If it's not already, indeed. Introducing my fellow esteemed co-host. This man is ready to set sail and paint all of us like one of his French girls' despair.
Yes. Damn, how'd you know?
Of course I know. This man here, he auditioned for the Street Fighter movie under the stage name Big Neighbor. FallaYoDreams.
Yeah, I can't talk about it because NDA.
Damn.
Of course, gotta respect the business.
And this man here, he dropped a new voice reel, but conveniently left out the central voicemails he left me. Cosmic Kaiser 6.
Look, brother, unless you paying for it for a job or whatever, I don't return no calls, man. It's a business. Shit's getting more expensive.
You heard it here first, ladies and gents. Get the cameo.
Do that shit.
And of course, yours truly. And let's just say that the Elden Ring DLC ain't the only thing that's hard. Let's get it popping.
Hey. Let's get it.
It started things off with Elden Ring. Elden Ring DLC. Shadows of the Erd Tree popped off.
I knew you were
5
gonna bring this shit up.
Sales. And apparently people are up in arms because it's too hard.
I knew that was the topic you were talking about, bro. Man, I should just leave right now.
This has been a setup for despair the whole time. Yeah, I mean, well, there's been a lot about this. The main thing is that it's good. The second thing is it sold 5 million copies already for a DLC. That's outrageous.
Pretty huge.
$40 DLC, that's a quote-unquote scam, right?
$40 DLC, which some people believe it was a scam, but it's honestly like another whole section of game. Like, this is like a whole another big...
You could literally charge... People were saying you could have literally charged full price for this. And I 100% agree, because there are full price games, $70 or more, that don't even do this, so...
Big agree.
Kind of putting the industry on notice again with the same game.
Yeah. Well, I got
2 years later.
A couple things to say, because it's like, yeah, they're great and all, but well, I mean, nobody's perfect. But before we get into that, yeah, I think there's just like the whole man. People were saying the DLC is too hard, and it's before it was like it's a scam, but now it's like it's just mainly too hard. Miyazaki himself said that he made it to challenge.
But most of the fans weren't saying it's a scam. It was the random motherfuckers that, you know, just always try to,
I think
it's
honestly, I think it's the shitstorm of all the casuals, like the people who picked up the game when it dropped because it was the biggest thing that was out at the time. They put the game down, whether or not they beat it is one thing, but they put the game down. It's been sitting there all this year. Now it's hyped up again. Kai Cenat streamed it. It's the big thing. The DLC was coming. Everyone knew about the DLC coming. It was a big hype event. It still is. So everyone's like, well, let me get back into this. It's $40. Let's see what this is about. Oh shit, I suck. This shit sucks. This shit is hard. Right?
Skill check, baby.
Most of them can't even access the DLC because they ain't even beat Moog.
Yep, that's the funny part.
And that's the funny part. Yeah.
You know, it's interesting to note that, you know, because there was a lot of excitement for this DLC in particular. And I remember saying this early, you know, like all of these people who are super excited to play the DLC, and then it's like, how many of them like they, and then some of them are just like, I've never played Elden Ring before. I'm just like, why is this DLC hard? I'm like, well, DLC, you know, like when you play a DLC like this, it has the assumption that you beat the main game. So you at least have enough skill.
And it has the assumption that you beat one of the harder bosses in the game, which was Moog.
Exactly.
It was suggested that they go into the DLC at a minimum level of 120.
You had to beat Radon.
Moog and Radon.
And Moog, which were the two like scrub killers when the game came out. Radon had to get nerfed.
Radon pre-patch was crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, so to me, it's just kind of like, what were you expecting? You know what I mean?
You got to understand, most people, this is typical FromSoft DLC stuff, right? And honestly, a lot of the Souls DLC, you'll start the DLC, the first boss will determine whether or not you stick with that game, but you know whether or not you stick with the DLC or not. Because every DLC so far from every Souls game, the first boss has been stupid. And it's like, when you think about Souls games, right? The majority of people, I'm not speaking for everybody, but the majority of people will play the game. They'll go through New Game Plus a couple times, right? They'll have the most OP shit in the game by then. And they'll assume that because they can one-shot the base game bosses for 2 years, right? That they're just gonna hop into DLC and fucking wreck everything. I'm pretty sure they accounted for that.
Yo, remember that first winged lion when you got to Ulasil? Sorry. That shit was fucking bananas.
Arturius says hi. I'm just saying.
Yeah, no, but Arturius was the second boss. Arturius?
Yeah, but that's
the first one was that
it was relatively
winged
early.
Lightning lion was the first one. And he checked you. And you know who also checked you? Those fucking zombie dudes in the village.
Yeah,
they hit hard
even the
as
random ass NPC. Yeah, like that's the one thing in the DLC that's funny. Even the random ass like filler enemies are beating people's asses, and it's like, did you forget why you played this game in the first place? That's it. Follow said it right. They are under the assumption you've already played the game, and if you've already played the game, you know what to expect from this game. So why is
not only that, but it's also like it's a challenge to those players, right? Like it's an added thing. I mean, that's why you fucking play these games.
They also did something that I thought was cool. Your level doesn't mean shit in this game. The only thing your level means in the DLC is whether or not you're able to use certain things, how much health you have. Even how much health you have doesn't mean shit, because you still get like 2-3 shot by a lot of things if you don't have the right build, or you don't have enough skadoo tree fragments, right? So I don't know, man. I've always, this happens every time. This is the traditional like Souls cycle, bro.
Yep.
Even the whole genre, not even just Souls games, like the Souls likes everything. It's always the same exact shit, same story every time. Where it comes out, everyone's excited, everyone's talking about it, and then the scrubs get weeded out, and they're like, man, I don't understand the hype. This game sucks. And it's like, okay, you just don't get the appeal. That's the appeal of these games. Somebody, I had a conversation last week with somebody, and we were talking about how a lot of gamers are just entitled. Every game is supposed to be meant for them. And if it's not meant for them, then shame on the dev for not making a game for them. You know what I mean? Not every game is supposed to be meant for everybody. Period.
No.
Like, people like this style of game because it is challenging. That's the whole point. Like,
you know, it's kind of that saying where you like, if you give everyone a special medal, no one's special.
What did the Helldivers 2 devs say? A game made for everyone is made for is a game for nobody. Exactly. Like,
it's true.
Like, come on, man.
You've said this
and
before,
I'm not gonna lie to you. Elden Ring is the easiest Souls game by far. It's the easiest one out of all the games they've made. This is the easiest game that they've made, and they've given you plenty of options to make the game easier. But you know, people want to ride on their high horses and be like, yeah, I don't want to use the summons. I don't want to use this broken build. I don't want to use what the fuck else? I don't want to use magic. I want, like, shut the fuck up, man. If you're getting fucked up, just keep getting fucked up. Or use the tools that are in the game. You don't need summons to beat the game. Well, maybe some of y'all do, but like, some of y'all definitely do. But that's a skill issue on your part, not the game's fault. I've gone through some of these bosses before my build was even complete. Now I'm just fucking shit up. But I was going through some of these bosses, and I'm like, yeah, I love this feeling of getting fucked up, learning the boss patterns, learning weaknesses, doing all that shit. That's the whole point, right? So you complain when it's too hard. So then when they make it too easy, you're gonna complain that it's too easy. So what the fuck do most of these people want? This is what happens when games get, I hate saying this because it sounds like what's the word? It's the hipster argument, where it's like, this is what happens when games go mainstream, when a series goes mainstream and everybody's playing it. Now we have all the randos giving their shitty opinions about this shit being too hard because Elden Ring was your first Souls game and you didn't know that this is what we expect from these games. Like, how many people were stuck on Morgott or Margot, whatever his name was in the beginning of Elden Ring? Like, come on, bro. And it was saying the game sucks because you couldn't beat the fucking second boss? Was it the first? Who was? I think it was Margot, right? Margot was the first boss, right?
Tree Sentinel was the first boss.
No, Tree Sentinel doesn't count as the first boss. That's not the first boss.
It's the first optional boss.
That
first main boss
is the first boss.
Yeah, for sure.
The first boss is Margot. Like, because you weren't intended to beat the Tree Sentinel that early in the game. Like, they put that there.
It's a skill check
to piss you off. Like, they put that there to show you, oh shit, this is what I have to expect from this game, right?
Oh, I noticed that immediately.
There's a deeper meaning. Design wise, there was a deeper meaning why he was there, but we don't have to get into that.
I noticed him immediately. I don't know if you remember my playthrough. I fought him and I was just like, this seems like somebody I need to come back to, and just moved on.
Yeah,
and
like I just tried to do it and just beat him when I first saw him. But the whole point of him being there was to kind of like instill fear in you of that boss. Because then they throw them at you later, like, spoiler, they throw like 2 or 3 of them at you later. You're like, oh, fuck, it's this bitch again. So the whole point of him being there was to kind of scare you when you, like, you know what I mean? Like, that was one of the smartest design choices I think they've ever made. Because they put him there on purpose. There was a reason why they put him there. But regardless, people couldn't beat Margot. People were complaining about that. First boss in the game. First actual, like, main boss in the game. Couldn't beat him. They complained, right? So this is what I expect from people now. This is why I mute. Anytime these games come out, I just have to mute Twitter or any social media. I have to mute because it's always going to be some random ass Kotaku article or IGN or whatever the fuck, random gaming journalist talking shit. Man, this game needs an easy difficulty or some bullshit like that. It's always the same, dude. It's always this. It's the cycle. It happens every time. This is one of the. I'm not even going to say one of the. I think this is the best game of all time. I think this is the best game ever made. I think that most people that have played this and understand like its impact would agree, right? Whether you like it or not, you kind of have to understand the impact this game has had and is going to continue to have. So I just hope. Then again, Miyazaki don't give a fuck, right? We can assume he don't care, right?
At this point,
we can assume he doesn't care because when I see stuff like negative Steam reviews, because they were review bombing it on Steam, right? Yeah. When I see things like negative Steam reviews, I think of like the shareholders seeing that shit and them trying to come down and pressure him to make the games easier.
No,
I don't want that, bro. I don't want that.
But the thing is, they're not gonna pressure him. They're not gonna charge him because these games have been selling. Yeah. So right now, they're just gonna be like, "Hey, we just want to talk to you," and he's just gonna be like, "Shut the fuck up."
Y'all can agree, right? Like, I just want to make sure because I know Follow doesn't really play Souls games like that. Cosmic, I don't know. But can we all just agree though, like Souls games aside, there is something fulfilling about surmounting what seems like insurmountable odds, right? That's the whole point of the series, is you feel helpless at first, but then you're like, wait a minute, something clicks. And then when you beat that thing and you figure it out, you're like, oh man, I actually fucking just did that shit. That's the appeal of the games. That's it right there. Like, you feel helpless until you're not, right? Whether it's going to go find a better weapon or some shit, whether it's figuring out like boss enemy patterns and figuring out that way, whether it's going to level up and coming back later, you still figure it out. And then when you finally get it, it's like, oh man, that relief, that fulfillment you get. That's the fucking point, bro. If you don't like it, get the fuck out of here. Like, just go play something else. That's the thing I don't get. Just go play something else. It doesn't have to be for you.
It's okay to play something else. It's okay to put it down and say, this is not for me.
That'd be like, yeah, I don't know how you do this, bro. It's not for me. Well,
exactly.
I do it because it's for me.
That's fine. That's perfect. There's nothing wrong with that. Like, people feel a sense of like,
some people don't like pressure.
Their pride are hit, and they're just like, I can't say that. No,
that's exactly it. Because let's be real, man. Let's be real. When something is hard, and some people can do it, and other people can't, there's always going to be that ego of like, damn, you don't play because you just suck ass, right? Or you think this game sucks because you suck. right? Which usually
it's immaturity.
With these games, that's usually how it is. Yeah, gamers are immature though.
To be honest, though, it's true. But it's okay to because if someone told me, yeah, man, I tried Elden Ring, it's just not for me. I just thought it was like a little like I wasn't. Yeah, but nobody would ever.
How many people actually say, yeah, this game's just not for me? The majority of people are gonna be like, nah, this shit sucks.
Yeah, nah, and they're dead.
It's just hard for the sake of being hard.
They're dead wrong if they're saying that. But if they were to just say, hey, it's not for me, I wasn't having fun. I've never played a Souls game,
and my first thought was, this game is just hard for the sake of being hard. That was never my thought outside of Dark Souls 2. But anyway, that was never a different story.
I told you that. I told you about that one. No.
Listen, we won't talk about that. But outside of that, you can tell that these games are intentionally designed in a way where it's all doable. It's not impossible. All this shit is doable if you just if you're just patient. Yeah, that's what I love about the games, man. But yeah, I don't know.
Some people don't like rough. That. Some people are not built that way, right? Like it's truly
just built
different, right? Like literally for these games. And I completely understand what you're saying. It's like some people don't find enjoyment of that struggle, and then because they don't like, we see the enjoyment when you finally surmount the insurmountable odds, right? When you finally beat that boss, it's like, yes, this is amazing. I know I was fucking cursing and flipping and throwing shit.
Yeah, exactly.
But this felt great once you finally and that's the whole point of it. It's to reach that plateau and just be like, I did this.
Yeah, and that kind of,
most people don't enjoy the struggle before that because they've probably never struggled with anything in their life. But that's
think about it. Yeah, that's another thing. Like,
listen, that's another thing, psychological thing entirely.
It is a psychological thing though, because there's a reason why I like doing raids in like MMOs, for example. I like doing the hardest content in FF14 that, like, what they say, they like 4% of their player base does. I don't know what 4% of like millions and millions is, but it's not a lot. That's not a lot, right?
It's like 10,000 you motherfuckers.
Yeah, it's not a lot of people, but the feeling you get for doing it, putting in the work and putting in the time to actually do it, and then saying, yeah, I did that, is probably one of the more rewarding things. And I'm one of the people, it's deeper for me because I like learning things. That's always been what appeals to me. That's why I like fighting games. That's why I like fighting games. That's why people always ask me, why do you always play a fighting game for like a couple of months or a few months and then stop playing it? Because I enjoy the learning phase of games, right? I really enjoy that phase where I'm like, oh shit, you can do this, you can do that. Oh shit, this is cool, right? You're like learning new things, thing after thing after thing, and you just keep throwing yourself at the wall until things stick, right? That's one of my favorite aspects, like, in life. Everything that I do, it's for that reason. That's why I learned how to play instruments. That's why I learned how to speak different languages, right? That's why I learned how to, some of these games I throw myself at, even though they make me salty as shit.
Like,
right?
Challenge yourself, right?
I love that aspect of life. And I feel like most people that play these games and like these games do that unknowingly. They just don't know, but that's why you're addicted to these games. Because you enjoy that sense of, it's progression. It's the sense of progression, right? And I feel like if more people looked at life that way, you'd have a much more like, God, I don't want to get into that because it sounds kind of offensive. But I feel like if you looked at life more that way, you'd have a way more fulfilling like life, I feel like. If you looked at everything as a challenge that you can overcome. That's just how I feel. Like, and that's this game to me. But as I just said, most people are not going to want to deal with that. They're like, man, I deal with struggles in life every day. Why the fuck I want to struggle in a video game? And I understand that. I get that shit.
I get that.
That's fair. I mean, that's fair.
I get it. But hey, I don't know. It's just masochistic tendencies, I guess.
Yeah, no, it is. Absolutely. It's, because I mean, like, why do I?
Feels good.
I mean, especially when you have one of those days for fighting games where, you look yourself in the mirror, you're just downing yourself, like, bro.
And then you get back on it the next day.
My ass, and then you uninstall the game, and then
like, do I suck?
You're
bro, I had those days
your life
like, God damn, I'm garbage. And then the next day I go on like a win streak and ranked, and I'm like, yo, I'm the fucking best. Like, that's just God. Like, come on, man. That feeling is, that's why you keep playing them though, because that feeling is addicting.
It is. It's definitely addicting. And then I would just say, Yeah, man. And, you know, it's just, and there's also, this is a whole different conversation in terms of like types of difficulty. Like there's certain difficulty. I don't like arbitrary difficulty in the sense of like, hey, I can't beat this because I like it's just cheap for the sake of being cheap, and then also like the only reason I can't beat them is because I'm not level 12 versus me right now. I'm like level 5. But like it's just one of those things that I don't like that. That's why like in terms of solo games, I probably prefer like more Sekiro because it's more, you know, timing and, you know, parry based, and I just feel, you know, I like those elements more than like than that. But yeah, man, I agree.
I don't want to get into that conversation because what you just said is literally a Souls game though. They're all the same. The only difference in Sekiro is that you're not tied to like levels and shit, but most of the time neither
that's
are
my only thing. I'm so whatever.
Yeah, but Souls games aren't either.
Yeah, you aren't really tied to any.
Yeah, but like, Souls games, I just don't even like the aesthetic for Souls games.
Yeah, that's different. I don't even enjoy what you just said. Yeah. That's a totally different thing.
But for other games that I played that have that kind of difficulty, I was talking more in general. Like for you know, other games like that I have like RPG.
It's not like an RPG where you stumble across a level 99 enemy and you're level 1 and they hit you once and you die. Like and there's nothing you can do about it. Like in this game, like that's why level 1 runs are so popular, because you can literally play this game however. Like levels don't really mean shit, but that's a different conversation. But like I don't know, man. People complaining when you I don't know, man, because we've had issues like this before, right? Where remember Sekiro came out, people were saying games should have an easy mode, and I remember getting hella pissed because they were saying, somebody said, what if I just want to play through the story? And I'm like, what? Go watch the story on YouTube or some shit then. Like, if that's the only reason you're picking up first of all, an action game, right? Pretty much, Sekiro is pretty much an action game, right? Souls from the Souls developers, playing it for the story? What the fuck, huh? The story that you're probably not gonna understand your first playthrough anyway. You're gonna have to play the game, go watch lore videos, because you're gonna miss hella shit in these games because they're not designed for you to find literally everything and understand the entire story in one playthrough or without watching lore guides or anything like that. They're not designed that way, right? So I don't understand, like, how do people approach these games this way when the whole the Souls like genre is get your ass beat, you respawn, right? Your souls are over there in the corner, you go get them shits, right? And you hope you don't die again. Right? You know what I'm saying? Like you figure out you chip away at the game. That's how I feel, like, especially like if you don't like level 1 and low level shit, you chip away at the game until you figure out what works. And I don't understand how this is any different than saying let's say a platform is really hard or some shit like that, right? You go through the level, you die, right? And then the next time you go through the level, you get a little bit further, and then you just keep doing that. The cycle continues, right? What's the difference between that and this type of game? There's no difference, really. I don't feel like. Well, I guess the mindset you would approach these games in doesn't change, is what I'm trying to say. So why is it that we have to review bomb a game that is inherently very good because you're not very good at it? Like, that's what I don't understand.
But I just don't even
bomb a game because you suck.
But like, also, I don't even understand why you care so much if you don't like the game. If you don't like the game, just move on.
They like the game. That's the problem, bro. Listen. The majority of these people love the game, or they want to love the game because everyone loves the game, right? So if the game fucks them up, I don't think any of these Steam people give a fuck about clout, really. Like, were they getting clout from Steam reviews? Like, really? But if to review bomb a game and say, I'm not even gonna go look at the reviews because I did that shit the other day and it was pain looking at some of the shit people were saying. But the game is designed in a way, actually not, specifically the DLC is designed in a way where, one, your level doesn't matter, right? Whatever weapons you upgraded in your previous playthroughs, that shit don't matter, right? they give you an item that you're supposed to find, which one incentivizes you to explore the game, which is the whole point of the game, right? Find the little tree fragments or whatever.
The skidoo.
And then, yeah, the skidoo tree fragments, and then do your thing, bro. And even when you find those, the shit's still gonna rock your ass.
Yep.
So get used to it.
Yep.
Like,
listen.
So it's like,
listen.
man.
I thought I was good after a few. Nope, bro.
Nah.
Miyazaki. Look, I'm about to glaze Miyazaki right now because he's a genius.
Oh yeah, I've been for a long time.
Yeah. He's a genius in the way that he designed this. He stated it.
Even Armor Core, man.
Listen, even Armor Core.
Yeah, didn't Armor Core have a boss everyone was complaining about?
The first boss.
The first boss. Yeah. What, the helicopter boss or the other one?
Yes.
Yes, the helicopter boss and the fucking
the helicopter
next
boss and
the
one that fucking fuck.
The other one, right?
The near boss, but he shot like all the orbs and shit at you.
Act 1 and Act 1 boss or something.
The one that shot all the big ass orbs and shit at you. It was the near boss. Everyone was like, "This is bullshit." I was like, "Okay," but yeah, my boat. Continue, freak.
No, but yeah, sorry.
Well, no, I'm just saying, like, Miyazaki's he's actually a designing genius when it comes to this.
Absolutely.
There's a reason why these FromSoft games are doing as well as they do, and it's because of his mind behind the development of things, right? Like, because as Asper's mentioned, there's just certain things that it makes you, and it incentivizes things within the player to do. These are things that they inherently, like, you don't realize you're doing it, but you're doing it because that's the way the game was designed. Yep. And he designed this aspect of the DLC to say, like, listen, I want to reward those players who have never stopped playing. How do I do that? I need to make it difficult for them, because if you've never stopped playing, guess what? You could be over leveled.
You're gonna run through the boss.
And you're
remember
what
I was saying?
Anything.
I was hella scared because I had like a level that was like I was like 200 something on my other character, on the character I was gonna take in, and I was hella scared. So I made a new character and went in at level 150, and it, from what I'm saying, it don't make no fucking difference.
Yeah, you could go in at level 150. You can go in at level 200. You go. There's people that went into the DLC at level 3 something, and they were just like, "Why am I getting two-shotted by this boss?" Because when you enter that DLC space, it didn't matter because it was designed to reward those players who have been so loyal and playing this game, and they said they wanted them to be difficult.
Bro, people are putting out the most random bullshit saying, "Oh my God, these have to be the worst Souls hitboxes ever." Bro, every Souls game, every Souls boss has bullshit ass hitboxes, crazy ass range. That's the whole fucking point, bro.
That makes me think of the fucking meme first time.
Like,
first time?
Right, exactly. Like, hello? Bro, that is literally the point. You're supposed to be like, fuck, this is bullshit. And then when you beat it, you're like, oh, this is the best game ever, right? That's the cycle. Like, you're like, man, this shit fucking sucks. What the fuck is this? Bro, I was fighting a boss yesterday that literally I couldn't move. I got hit once. I tried to roll and heal. He was like, nah, bro, you're not healing. I tried to roll and heal again. Nope, not healing. Then he just hit me like a billion times. I got juggled like 3 times, and then goes my HP. And I was like, well, that's that. That's the game. That's bullshit. Then I went back in there and I beat the shit out of him. And I was like, yep, hold that.
I got mad because I got cooked and stomped, and then I was like, why can bosses hit you when you're on the ground, but you can't hit? That was a legit thought in my head. I was like, these motherfuckers are stomping
because that's how the game is supposed to be designed. It's not supposed to be fair.
Because fuck you. That's why
it's not supposed to be fair.
Like, even Miyazaki said he sucks at video games and he sucks at his own games, but he
sucks at his own game.
He sucks at his own games, but he sucks at games in general. He says, I am not good at video games. But guess what? This motherfucker is great at designing games because these games do well for a reason. And he stands by his way. Even if people say, hey, make your games easier, he says, fuck you. It's staying the way it is. And that's why the game.
Remember when everyone was scared the Armor Core was going to be like a dumbed down version of the old games?
Yeah, I remember.
And then they got humbled hella quick.
I never played him, and I was looking into all the videos. I was just like, let me.
That's what I wanted to look at. I wanted to look at how many people actually finished Armor Core, because I heard not a lot of people did, which is actually hilarious.
I finished it 4 times. I love that game. I'm sorry, that shit was my most obsessed game of 2022.
Look, yeah, I was
3 or what?
hella hyped for that game. But then again, I guess every FromSoft game is just up there for me now.
Yeah.
Anytime I see FromSoft, I'm just like, yep, gotta play. But I am glad that we have quote unquote competitors now, right? Like
Liza P,
yeah.
Phantom Blade Zero,
which honestly, Liza P was that shit might have been harder than that shit might have been harder than fucking this shit. I don't know. People weren't complaining about that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but never mind. They were.
Listen, they were. Everyone was. But it just didn't garner. It didn't garner as much attention because it's not as popular.
New IP, whatever. Yeah.
I know. I glaze Miyazaki a ton, right? The dick riding be crazy right now. The dick eating is wild. However, there is one thing that I will shit on in this game. It's the performance. This shit, as a company like FromSoft that makes so much, you sold 5 million copies of a DLC.
But its engine sucks.
The engine sucks, but like the fact that they just don't make improvements on it, bro. Like come on, sucks, like bro. Even Digital Foundry is just kind of like, guys, what are you doing with all this money that you're getting?
I agree 100%. I agree 100%. But my whole thing is, this engine is fucked from the start. Like
yes.
Their games, a lot of their games are fucked from the start. There's a reason why Bloodborne still runs like ass on PS4, and it never got fixed because that engine fucking sucks. And they probably don't want to. It would probably take more time and effort to fix that shit than to just fucking focus on whatever they're doing. And you know what made me think about that? The fact that Armored Core came out and that game performed amazing. Right?
Yeah, no, it ran well, I believe.
So
it still had there was still like some issues.
It was
about
nowhere
Armored
near.
Core that
it was nowhere near Elden Ring.
Nowhere near
or Dark Souls.
Other. It was
all
probably
3 Dark Souls games.
It was probably touted as the best FromSoft performing game.
Yes.
On launch. On launch, not even after patches. On launch.
Yeah.
So yes, it still had its issues, but nowhere near the effects of any other game.
Not Elden Ring. I was pleasantly surprised when I played that because I had the same expectation going in, like, FromSoft, they don't know how to optimize their shit, so it's gonna run like ass or whatever. But yeah, that was leagues ahead of Elden Ring. So hopefully moving forward, their games after this will be fine. I personally didn't expect a DLC to the same game to perform better than that game. I already knew it going in. But it's just one of those games where I just don't care. I really don't care, bro.
Well,
this is one of the only exceptions where I just don't care.
What makes me not care at all? Listen, PC bros out there, lossless scaling. They ain't paying us for that.
No, they're not paying us for that.
I'm not shilling
shit on. I'm not shilling shit.
I'm not gonna shill it
unless they pay me.
If you're playing this shit on console and it has performance issues, just know at PC we eating good. I mean, there's still the random
scaling is godlike. You know what?
Look, hold on.
Best $7 I ever spent ever.
Shut up. If lossless scaling devs want to sponsor this podcast, feel free to do so because we will shill the shit out of your. We'll shill the shit out of it. It's black magic. It is.
That is the best purchase ever since I've been on PC.
It's
straight up.
It's like watching certain games run on the Switch where you're like, this is on Switch? Yes, motherfucker, because this shit is it's like black magic. It's crazy. Like, what are they doing?
I don't understand.
How do you do it?
I'm not going to even start to explain. Yeah.
But it works, and it's way better. You run the game. Listen, y'all console plebs. I'm sorry. I've never heard the console plebs, but y'all console plebs are like, man, why do I have to run the PS4 version on PS5 for a solid 60?
Damn.
Guess what? I'm running this shit at a solid 120.
Damn.
And upscaled. Listen, I can't even explain the science behind it, but it just works. However,
I don't know the science.
The same reason I shit on FromSoft.
Yeah, I don't need to know. It works.
This game still has, regardless of your setup, regardless of whatever the fuck you're running on PC, and even on console, it has these random points of extreme judder, extreme like slow down.
And this is how godlike lossless scaling is. I completely forgot that this game ran like shit. because I haven't experienced it at all
Yeah,
with the lossless scaling.
The only thing that I have experienced with lossless scaling is legit.
That's why he was like, I don't really care.
Moments of big. Remember when you saw me fighting?
Originally.
Remember when you saw me fighting Margot and it was at a pivotal point?
Your game
and
just stopped.
I said, "What the fuck is that?"
You were also streaming at the same time too.
Yes, but that's
that
the shit that I've been experiencing when not streaming as well. Right now with the DLC with lossless scaling.
I don't know how.
There are certain because it's just a game. It's just you could Google it. It's just a game. No matter how much of a beast your PC is,
I have not
you're
had
going to
a stutter
experience that
yet
at some point
with lossless scaling on. Without it, yes. With lossless scaling, I have not had one yet.
Yeah. It's going to happen. You know what's really weird? I get this weird bug when your controller, if you have like a wonky USB port on your controller or something, like it's a little shaky. If your shit DCs at any point in time, like let's say even if it's for like a split second, it just DCs.
Oh yeah, your game's fucked. Yeah, a lot of games do that.
Your game's gonna fucking
a lot of games
freeze and shit itself. That happens. Yeah, my daughter fucked up my USB cable. That shit was crazy.
Well, looks like you need a dongle, my friend.
I already got
a wireless.
Yeah, I might need to get a dongle.
Get that 8-bit dongle.
These nuts. All right. I'm thinking.
Yeah, not paying me though. I should have said that.
But
that's true too.
Regardless of this,
we're on a podcast. You can't be shouting out.
Yo, I'm not saying no names until I'm getting paid for saying the names. So I'm gonna just say get a dongle. I'm not saying which one.
Just be like, listen, do it. Send it to us.
Fuck that.
We'll sponsor your shit.
Yeah. But regardless of that, I mean, they should definitely look into making a new engine or some bullshit with all the money that they're making.
Yeah, they have to. But you know what the funny part is? Probably to them looking out, they're probably like, we don't have to. They're gonna buy a game anyway. But nah, don't do that. Don't do that.
You know, don't tell them that.
Because I
think worked for them for years already.
I hate to say it. Well, to be fair, this is probably one of the this is one of the times where you actually can't get away with it because you have millions and millions of people playing this game now. There were millions of people playing Dark Souls 3, blah blah blah, but it's like twice the amount of people playing this game now. So if your shit don't run and your shit is ass, people are gonna know. You could get away with that back in the day when Dark Souls 1 came out and the PC version was fucking god awful. And fucking like, you know, I don't even want to talk about the Souls, the console versions of these games because sheesh. But you could get away with that back then, but it's kind of hard to get away with that now. So hopefully they're working on a new engine. Armored Core showed that they can make a game that doesn't run like complete ass, right? So hopefully moving forward that they solve that. But for all the people that are complaining that the DLC is too hard, get good. Stop fucking sucking ass or go play a different game entirely. Those are your options. You got to pick one. So
that's true.
Good luck.
When Miyazaki said he was ass at video games and ass at his own games, the main replies were "Get good, Miyazaki."
Yep. Yeah. And he's probably like, yeah, they right, because he knows what game he made. Like, he knows what game he made, bro. You know what the craziest shit is? I was thinking about this when the DLC dropped. When Demon Souls dropped originally, most people had no idea what the fuck that shit was, right? No idea. Shit, the Souls series didn't even really pop off until Dark Souls 1. So, and Bloodborne. So I'm thinking to myself, like, there's millions, I'd say like 80% of the people playing this series now are people that probably started with Dark Souls 3, Elden Ring, right? The relatively easier Souls games, right? So it's like, I don't know, man. This is kind of what happens when the masses get a hold of something. The drone mentality kicks in where everyone wants things to be for them. Everyone wants things to be catered to them. And don't realize that, no, that's not how life works. Not everything has to be catered to you. And the sad part is we don't have a lot of devs like this that will come out and say that, yeah, this game just, we've added tools into the game to make it as easy as the games are as hard as you want them to be or as easy as you want them to be, right? And they say this, the devs say this, they say this to us
every time.
So if that's not your shit, just go play something else, man. It's always the same story with these games. So I don't know. I didn't want to go on a huge thing about it, but I feel like this series is worth going on a huge rant about because every time they come out, it's always the same shit. And this game is that monumental. I believe this game is that big of a deal. like to the industry as a whole, that we should be talking about this. Because what other game has devs out here getting mad about their own shit? Like, I love it, bro. I don't know what happened. I have to look it up. Apparently it happened again. Some devs were shitting on it. I don't know what happened. Did I hear about it?
Oh, no. What, like other devs shitting on Elden Ring?
Yeah, like a Horizon situation?
Fuck. Yeah. I don't remember. Fuck. I'd have to look it up. I'm mad I didn't save it. But apparently it happened again where some devs were shitting on the DLC again. And I'm just like, bro, can y'all just go make a good game and shut the fuck up? Yeah.
But like, what? Like saying like it was too hard or what?
Nah, they were saying the same bullshit about how they don't understand why gamers like this or our game is better or some shit like that. Y'all remember what happened when the original game came out? People were trying to shit on it. The devs were trying to shit on it because they were like, how is this game selling? Blah 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 blah. Like,
but it's one of those things of just like, bro, just instead of spending on that energy, just make a good game and people will play them. It's just that simple.
People are gonna be people, man. They're still gonna just talk and not do anything about it, though.
Yep, that's.
I mean, look, if this game imbues competition, I'm all for it. Because that only
already has. Games, got Liza P, right? But you know what's weird though? The weird part about it.
But I'm not even talking even like the same genre of game. It's
gonna be competition. You know how? They're all gonna try to make the same game. They're all gonna try to make the next Souls game. That's all they're gonna fucking do. How many devs have tried it already?
Yeah. Because people follow the trend instead of making the trend.
Yeah. Right. And if you think about it, they made this trend. It's a genre. It's a literal genre of game now. Like, that's crazy.
The whole reason this shit was brought up was this guy had this epiphany that like, hey, why aren't games just like fucking hard and just
yeah, like think about it. Imagine making a new game. Imagine creating a new IP and it creates an entirely new genre. Like, Souls like is its own genre. That's crazy. Like, what? I would be so fucking like he doesn't even seem affected by it at all. He's just like, yeah, I'm just making the games I like. I'm just gonna keep making these games.
Yeah, true.
Like, that's the cool part.
Is the games I like.
Like that shit is sick to just come out with a game and then like it's its own genre and then you have a bunch of people making games based off of your game. That's wild, man. That's probably like that's like Final Fantasy and like Dragon Quest. Like, yeah, now we got all these RPGs that are basically just like us. But the thing was, right, that was early on in video games. So obviously there's trend popping up, trend after trend after trend, genre after genre popping up, people having new ideas. Dark Souls came out in what, PS3 generation, where shit seemed like it was already established. You know what I mean? Like, we had our platformers, we had our RPGs, we had our sports games, action games, whatever. We had our genres already. Now it's just like, yeah, we got Souls like, baby, here I am. That's wild, bro. The name is in the genre, Souls like that's sick. That's dope to me. I don't know.
Yeah, but in any case, yep, big success, and then
this whole podcast about fucking Dark Souls. Fuck it, I'm taking over. Nah, I'm joking.
Just basically whatever next they're working up. People are just gonna listen and pay attention to it. That's it, really. I mean, either you're gonna play the game or you're not, or you just gotta make that decision. And there's no wrong decision, by the way.
There isn't at all.
There isn't. You're the consumer. You got to make an informed choice. And if you know how you react to certain games, certain genres, then why exacerbate the negativity then? Just do what makes you happy.
Vote with your dollars, bro.
Always
Vote
FOMO.
With your dollars. Stop being...
It'll always be FOMO.
Big.
Of course.
Well, and by the way, just because your friends play a certain game doesn't mean you have to play them.
Yes, it does.
By the way.
Yes, it does. 99% of the time, yes, it does. I don't know now. One person that hasn't said, yeah, I'm playing it because my boy's playing it. Yeah, I'm playing it because everybody else playing it. Yeah, I'm playing it because it's the hot thing to play. Ooh. Like, everybody does that shit, bro. Now, there are some cases where that's fine, right? But if it's something that you genuinely, like, just don't like, then out of here, man. And you know what the funny part is? We can't even say that because I'm telling you, the majority of people that make these complaints love these games or love this game. They just can't accept that they suck. Like, they love this game. That's like the people that love fighting games, but they suck, and they just can't come to terms with the fact that they suck. So they'll talk shit. They'll be toxic.
Deal with scissor pressure.
They'll say all this shit, right?
Scissors is deep.
And they'll just keep saying it over and over again. Like,
but you know what? But it's okay to suck at the game. and like it, by the way.
Yeah, but in this day and age where you have streamers, like YouTubers, people on TikTok posting clips of how like doing no-hit runs, doing all this cool shit, right? That's why I feel like streaming kind of ruined the way people play games in a way, right? Because now you look at you watch a speedrunner or some shit, and you're like, oh wow, I can't play the game like that. But now everyone's gonna try to. They're gonna run to YouTube, run the Twitch to find like the most broken builds they can find, or some glitch or some bullshit, right, to get through the game easier, or whatever. Not realizing that this is kind of like, I don't know.
Kind of whack.
I was thinking about. It depends. It depends on the game, right? Because
it depends on the game.
I saw a tweet that said that streamers ruin the FPS genre, and I was like, wait a minute. Damn, that's kind of true. Because now, in every shooter you play, especially in Call of Duty, I can't speak for the others because the COD I played the most, right? You're always in the lobby with some idiots that want to like 360 no scope trick shot bullshit, all that crap, right? Trying to get clips, all that crazy shit. People don't play or they're trying to be the next fucking Shroud or fucking the next Cloud9 fucking member or some shit. It's totally different now. Like it's very strange, like how games are played now in the streaming environment. But whatever, that's topic for another.
Clan tags.
Yeah, but that's always existed. But like, it's really weird, man. I don't know.
Listen,
when I saw it, I was like, damn, that kind of clicked.
Until that shit was banned.
Unbelievable. Like
that was my shit.
I don't know. It was just food for thought. When I saw that tweet, I was like, damn, that might be true. I can't get into a lobby without somebody trying to trick shot, knife only. Now there's snipers in every game, right? So I don't know. It's interesting. Everybody trying to get an ace so they can clip. Yo, I got an ace. Clip that. You know what I'm saying? Like that's all you see. But whatever. That's a conversation for another day.
It certainly is. With all of that, it's like, hey, it's okay if it's not for you. Understand that, people. It is okay if the game is not for you. Y'all may suck. Y'all may get called clowns. Most of y'all are. But if it's not for you, it's not for you, dog. It's all good. At least acknowledge that and don't say the game is bullshit. Right? Because it is bullshit, but not in the way that you're saying. And I can't respect your opinion if you're garbage. No? But
stop sucking.
Something that may not be garbage, may or may not be garbage, we don't know, is the Caped Crusader trailers. Did you guys see this? I'm sorry, this is a little off topic, but this was dropped. Prime Video, the Caped Crusader, they finally dropped a trailer. This is the animated DC series for Batman. It's going to be they basically said it's not going to be Batman the animated series rehash, but goddamn, I mean that's not a bad thing if it is, but it kind of looks.
I know, like
I didn't see it yet.
Who's voicing Batman?
That's a good question. I actually don't know, but whoever it is does not sound bad at all.
No, it's all good. I mean, obviously the GOAT has passed. Rest in peace. But yeah, I mean, I love Batman, so yeah. Is it like a series or is it just a movie?
It's a series. Several episodes. It's a series, and Batman is Hamish Linklater. I don't know what he's been in. Let me take a look.
That's crazy.
He was in Battleship, Fantastic Four, The Big Short, Manhunt. He's done voice stuff before too.
American Horror Story.
Relatively unknown, it seems like. Not to say.
I mean, I think that's the best way to cast some of this shit sometimes. Like, always take someone who's unknown, not known, so people don't have preconceived notions of how he should be or should be acting or whatever, and he could just go do his own thing. And then, because to be fair, Kevin Conroy, that was his first audition ever doing anything ever. Like he booked his first audition, which is absolutely fucking rare in the industry, but he booked Batman as his first role, and that basically just made his whole career. Then no one could think of him outside of Batman, right?
It's easier to attach yourself to a character when they have an unknown or new voice actor, because you don't have that. It's not in the back of your head. Oh wait, I've heard this guy in something else or some random shit like that, right? You don't have. You have nothing to really. Obviously, you can compare him to the old voice actor, right? But I feel like enough. I don't want to say it. That sounds fucked up. I don't want to say enough time has passed.
Yeah,
but
I know what you're thinking.
No, but come on, like you guys gotta have that fucking mentality of like, hey, he's passed. Like,
yeah, exactly.
Where are we gonna go the rest of our lives without another Batman?
Exactly. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like, there's that realization you gotta say yourself. So if you're like a huge fan of him, you're just like,
I'm one of those people that if it don't sound bad, bro, I don't care who does it. As long as it don't sound bad.
As long as the animation's good, the storytelling is well. It looks well produced. Well, it's Bruce Timm's producing it. Oh, then,
it's Bruce Timm.
Damn. Oh shit. Yeah. Hold up.
Listen,
so
this has been on my radar for a long time. As the resident Batman nerd, I will say, like, in regard to like Kevin Conroy, of course he's the GOAT. Like, no one's going to top him. But with that being said, there's been people who have voiced Batman in certain productions that have done an outstanding job. Right? Roger Craig Smith has done fantastic as Batman. I forget the person's name.
The guy who played the red. He's playing Batman nowadays in the DC animated stuff. I forget his name. Kaiser, help me out here.
I'm trying.
Jensen something.
Jensen Ackles?
Yeah. Yes.
Jensen Ackles does a great job. I do like the stuff that he's done. It's funny enough, Batman Year One, which is probably one of my favorite Batman animated films, it's kind of like what the Caped Crusader is going for, where it's like the early days of Batman, right? And that was by Ben McKenzie, which is funny enough, he played Gordon in the Gotham TV series. And he did a great job in Year One. Like early Batman stuff, you have that leeway, right? Like everyone knows the established Batman is Kevin Conroy, but you can absolutely go like, oh, this is Batman when he's first starting out. His voice is gonna be different, right? Like that kind of works, and it gives room for that to grow and for
most people probably don't even care.
Yeah, most people, the people who are in the know,
the people who are super anal about it are just those fandom. And the thing is, their kind of fandom is very toxic, and they don't like. Ultimately, it ends up hurting the thing that they love. Like ultimately, because it's just like you're gonna go ahead and make this bad. Like for what? And then especially in this instance where he's passed. Like what's going on? Like where's the logic in? You know what I'm saying? Just give other people a chance. It's this guy's chance to be Batman. Let's see what he does, you know?
Yeah.
Maybe he kills it.
The majority of people don't care or aren't tuned in enough to care. They're going to watch it and either like the show or not like the show.
Exactly.
Not who's playing the roles and shit. Most people don't care.
Yeah. It's just I don't know. Sometimes it's hard to get out of the thing that Twitter's not a real place. You know?
It is. It really is.
Yeah.
But I always take a step back and realize, these people are in a fucking bubble.
Yeah. But I mean, the animation looks pretty crisp. You know, anything in the beginning of Batman. It seems like they made Jim Gordon black, which I mean, it's whatever.
Probably matching Jeffrey Wright and Matt Reeves is the producer. So,
I mean, you think this is going to be related to the movies? The movies that he's doing?
I think they're doing animated. I just think that since Matt Reeves is kind of attached to Batman being the next writer of the next big Batman movie that's coming out, I think he's just a producer of this or signed on to be a producer of this. So I mean, he's definitely probably have some influence in it, just not. I don't think it's going to be looking to be tied to anything. I think they're looking to just have a modern day Batman the animated series, right? Like they just want to what's the phrase? Homage. They want it to be a good homage to that, and that's why it's been on my radar for the whole time, because I think that's been the whole idea behind this project. It's been working. It's been in the works for a long time, actually. So it's it's finally good to see a trailer that absolutely looks outrageous. Yeah,
it's dropping August 1st.
It's dropping in August. If this gets dropped as an episodic thing, fine. If it gets dropped like here's the whole series, I'm definitely running a marathon in our Discord. It's gonna listen. We're watching this for sure. It's just great. I don't know. It just looks really good.
Yeah, it's Batman, bro. Sign me up. you don't need to convince me. You know what I'm saying? It just looks interesting. It looks like they could take the universe in a whole different direction because they're starting over from the beginning again. So, yeah, I mean, it's interesting. I hope, I hope it's good and all that jazz. It looks good, from the trailer, but I'm only just seeing like the animation. I'm not hearing it or whatever. But Bruce Timm, I mean, he produced one of the best DC animated shows ever. So like, it's in good hands. Just we'll see how it goes.
Yes, sir. With that being said, you know what else we're gonna see how it goes? We're gonna see how it goes when you hit subscribe, and tune in every week to us chilling out. I mean, well, there's gonna be a few weeks that we have off in the near future. We got a break coming out. It's summer break. Homies is going on break, traveling, vacation. So there may be a few weeks here and there that we've missed, ladies and gents. So just be sure to tune in to the TikTok, tune in to the YouTubes. We got a few content things coming down the pike just for you guys to be able to check it out. So there'll be a few episodes, a few special features here and there, but just make sure you tune in.
Unless there's some sort of big emergency where we need a call.
I just watched somebody beat an Elden Ring boss with a DDR pad. Y'all have no excuse. Stop bitching. Stop sucking ass. Like, what the hell did I just watch? Holy shit.
See the girl who beat a boss.
Her mind.
Her mind.
Yeah.
My mind.
My mind, indeed. Well, your mind is rocked. Check us out on YouTube, Spotify, iTunes, and get fucking good. We'll catch you guys next week.
Later.